Hare Krishna. So, today is Disappearance of Srila Haridas Thakur. And Lord Chaitanya, as we hear, celebrated it, and he gave the benediction for anybody who witnessed this festival of disappearance of Haridas Thakur. He said, anybody who sees, who serve, who take prasadam, they will very quickly achieve Krishna's favor. So now we witness through Premila's Prabhu narration this festival, and we all blessed by Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya glorified Haridas Thakur and his disappearance, and it seems like he possessed 5 mouths when he glorified Haridas Thakur, and the more he glorified, the more ecstatic he became, and all devotees was amazed listening glory of Haridas Thakur. So following his footsteps, we will narrate the pastimes. We will start from very beginning. Lord Brahma, he doubted Krishna, and it was amazing. Krishna was playing his part very well, as Krishna known as Urukrama, the wonderful actor. So everybody was confused, including Lord Brahma. So he saw that covered boys was eating tiffins, and sometimes they would eat something what they really like, and then from their tiffin they offered to Krishna. Now they didn't ring the bell, and it wasn't very pure because they was eating it. So he was thinking, is it really God? And we know that the other demigods also was confused, like Lord Indra, right? Lord Indra actually was trying to destroy the Vrindavan, right? And then when Krishna opened his eyes, then he apologized. And then, remember another story was Parijata tree. He was, when Krishna wanted to take Parijata tree from heaven, Indra again had fight because he was thinking that Krishna playing his part of human being very well, and the Parijata tree belongs to heavenly planet. So now he taking it. So there was a fight. So sometimes demigods get confused about Krishna's identity. So this is what happened. So Lord Brahma was thinking, what should I do? How I should really see potencies of Krishna, if he is really my Lord. And he kidnapped all the covered boys and the calves, and he hid them in the cave. And then he came. In one moment he came back, but already 1 year passed. And that year Krishna expanded himself in all the covered boys and all the calves, and they maintained their qualities, their character, all of them. And that way he satisfied all the residents of Vrindavan to have Krishna as their son. So then Brahma felt very bad and he apologized, and Krishna manifested his opulence. He revealed his opulence to Lord Brahma. And he also revealed that he coming as Lord Chaitanya, next avatar. And that time, Brahma was thinking, I'm already 50 years old, and still I'm committing these offenses, and still I cannot recognize my Lord. I have to do something about this. You can call it a midlife crisis. So what people do in midlife crisis, they buy motorcycle or boat, because people whose goal is sense gratification, they think, oh, I didn't enjoy it enough. Already half of my life passed, maybe more than half, and I still didn't enjoy enough. So they buy motorcycle, they buy boat or RV. And Brahma, now we can follow the supreme intelligent being in this universe, Lord Brahma, what he was doing in his midlife crisis. He thought, I have to be free from offenses. Because offenses, this is something what actually stops us in our spiritual life. Prabhupada commented that if some devotee properly practice Krishna consciousness but become offensive to his spiritual master or to other devotee, then his spiritual life is spoiled. So it's very important to be free from offenses. And also, when it's explained that we have to accept Panchatattva as is, the Advaita Acharya, Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, the authorities like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami comment that we cannot take one but reject the other. And when there is disagreement between senior devotees, we cannot take side. Now there is, I hear some disagreements between the gurus. Here's some controversial topic for you. Somebody would say, we just have to practice Krishna consciousness and all the good qualities will come. And somebody would say, we have to develop good qualities. So which one? All you great sages. Here we go. This is our great sage, Naveen Krishna Prabhu. It is both. So this is how it is. When senior devotees have disagreement, this is what it is. It's usually both. But some devotees more strongly believe in one, and some devotees more strongly believe in another. So yes, by Krishna consciousness, all the good qualities will develop. We can really, focus on one quality. Okay, today I will be more humble than my boss at work. Okay, I did it. Okay, today I will be more humble than my spouse. Okay, I did it. And then tomorrow I will be more humble than a tree. Oh no, I cannot do that. So we can really, focus on our qualities and trying to develop it independently from our Krishna consciousness. And from other side also, we can really ignore developing good qualities. We have to follow Vaishnava etiquette, right? If a I don't feel like bow down to Swami like we had just now Indradyumna Swami. So I maybe don't feel like bow down, but I have to bow down. That's the etiquette. So we have to work on our qualities, but it has to be balanced. So yes. So Brahma wanted to be free from offenses, and what he did, he went to Antardvip, the central island of Navadvip. And there he went to meditation, and he started calling Lord Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga.
Gauranga, 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 Gauranga.
Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga.
Gauranga, 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 Gauranga.
And beautiful form of Lord Gauranga, molten gold, with the lotus eye, with the long, long eyes, long arms, and yellow dhoti of a Jayanti garland appeared before him. And he had tears of love in his eyes. And Lord Brahma was speechless, and he offered him obeisances again and again. And Lord Gauranga asked, so why did you call me? And Lord Brahma said, what he said? I want to be free from offenses. And Lord Gauranga said, yes, I'm coming, and you come with me. And you will take humble birth. That way, if one is free from pride, it's very easy to be free from offenses. And you will chant continuously, and you will help me in my mission. And thus, Thakur Haridas, Brahma Haridas Ki Jai, he was born. And at a very early age, he became orphan. He left his house, and he went to Binapala. Binapala, in Chaitanya Charitamrita is spelled with the last A, Binapala, but now we went there. In my passport is still, there is stamp Binapal. Binapal with E, last E, Binapal. Binapal checkpost. So we went to Bangladesh, and we traveled with His Holiness Jayapadaka Maharaj, visit all the places, and Narottam Das Thakur place, and where Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, left the Krishna Prema in the river, and where he went, he took dip, and he got his Krishna Prema. And that way, that time his color changed from black, dark body into light, white body. So we enter into Bangladesh safari through the Binapal checkpost, and we left with the blessings of Haridas Thakur. And there is a little temple there, Haridas Thakur temple. So he went to Binapal, and there he constructed a little hut, and he put tulsi plant, and he started his Harinam. He chanted 3 lakhs of names. Now I did a little math, so 3 lakhs is 173 rounds every day. Because there is 16 names in Mahamantra, and then 16 names times 108, that's 1728 names in the round. 1728 names. And then I used to chant on clickers sometimes, and then I remember, oh, I remember this number, 1728. Then I figured that 1728 Mahamantras also in 16 rounds. Why is that? Because 16 times 108 or 108 times 16. So 16 names times 108 mantras in the round, or 108 mantras in the round times 16 rounds. So same number, 1728. So he chanted there, but there was one person who couldn't tolerate his fame, because Haridas Thakur was chanting with the love of Godhead. associating with Krishna, because holy name is not different from Krishna, and Krishna has all opulences. And the beauty of Krishna was manifesting in Haridas Thakur, and he was young, and everybody was just amazed of his effulgence and beauty. So people start coming and paying obeisances and worshipping him. Even Muslims and Hindus both. And this Ramachandra Khan started thinking, oh no, he was kind of the administrator, tax collector. So people used to come to him, ask questions, advice, and now they're all going to Haridas. Now he was thinking, oh no, what should I do? Even if I say something about Haridas, nobody would believe it, because everybody see for themselves. So he said, I actually have to make him fall down. So he invited all the prostitutes from his town, and amongst the prostitutes, he chose one, the young, the most attractive and cute, Lakshahira. And she said, yes, in 3 days, I will make him fall down. He said, okay, I send my soldiers with you, and as soon as they see you together embracing, they will arrest you both and bring to me. And she said, no, 1 day is maybe not enough. So I have one relationship with him, and then second time, I will tell you, you bring the soldiers. He said, okay. And she went, she dressed very nicely, and she was jubilant. She was going in the night, going to Haridas Thakur. She came, she paid obeisances to Tulasi, and she obeisances to Haridas Thakur. That's something to be said about the culture. That even those kind people had this culture. Americans, they see, like my neighbors, we have Tulasis all over, and I come out, I do obeisances, and some neighbors will say, oh look, they worship tree. So, and she came and she approached Haridas. She said, oh Haridas, you Thakur, you're a great preacher, and you're very handsome, and your youth just begin, and your body is very well built. So what girl will not lose her mind seeing you? Please, I'm longing to be with you. Please accept me, and please fulfill my desire. Otherwise, I will not be able to maintain life and soul together, body and soul together. And then what Haridas said, we all probably know the story. He said, please sit down and listen the chanting. As soon as I finish my chanting, all your desires will be satisfied, and I will accept you. And she was very encouraged, because never knows what these devotees will say. Maybe they say, go away, I'm renounced, and I'm free from lust, or you cannot be here. No, so she was very encouraged. So she started. She sat there all night, and then when morning came, she left. And then next night she came, and Thakur Haridas said, yesterday, I'm sorry, you were disappointed yesterday. Please forgive my offense. He said, today, I was trying my best to complete my rounds yesterday, but I couldn't do it, so today I will definitely complete rounds, and you will be satisfied. And she sat down, and she started listening to the chanting. And as she listened, she started chanting, Hari, 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 Hari. And then morning came. Just before morning, Haridas Thakur saw that she started getting restless. And he spoke to her. He said, actually, I took vow to chant 10 million names in 1 month. Now, 10 million names. Now, again, math, some math lesson, okay. 10 million names. I count, it is a little bit more than 3 lakh. It's 3,33,000. And 3,33,000 came to 192 rounds. So 192 rounds, if you average 2 hours per 16 rounds, that is 24 hours. So we can start new club, Hari. Can start new club, 192 rounds. Actually, Shivaram Swami did it. He did start the club, 192 rounds club. But of course, not every day, otherwise, probably very soon we'll go back together. So he said, how to do this is you take your rest, take your shower before midnight, and then at midnight you start chanting. So average 16 rounds every 2 hours, and don't bother about eating or drinking much, because then you will have to speed up. Then you have to speed up. Then you have to go faster than 2 hours per 16 rounds, because 2 hours per 16 hours, 2 hours per 16 rounds. That's 24 hours. So and he said, I did, and a few more devotees also did it. They finished 192 rounds in one day, midnight to midnight. So Haridas Thakur told her that now my vow getting close to end. So tomorrow I will definitely finish my 10 million rounds, and we will be able to enjoy in full freedom. And then next night she came early, because Haridas Thakur was to complete his 10 million rounds. So she came in the beginning of evening, and she stayed through all night, and in the morning her mind got changed and she was chanting again. So actually the night she didn't chant, but second night and third night she chanted. Now this is the example of the most advanced devotee, Uttamadhikari. This is what Lord Chaitanya explained actually, when the devotees came and they asked him, they said, who is devotee? He said, anybody who say Hare Krishna in their entire life, they are devotee. Okay, well, must be something more to it. And then next year they asked him again. They said, my Lord, tell us, who is devotee? And he said, that person who always chants the name of the Lord, he is devotee. But then they still ask, in case something more to it, they ask him again, third year, can you explain us, who is devotee? And he said, that person whom you see, you will have desire to chant the name of the Lord. He is devotee. He is the greatest of the devotees. So, and that was Haridas Thakur, but first night she didn't chant. So we can understand how many sinful activities she committed that she couldn't imbibe that in first night. But second and third night she chanted Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari. So, and she had change of heart, and she said that, oh, I took profession of prostitute and I commit so many sinful activities. Can you please deliver me? How I can be free from it? Actually, Ramachandra Khan just sent me here so that you fall down, and then he arrests you and he beat you and put you in prison and disgrace you and show everybody that actually you're a pretender. And he said, I knew all this. That day that he was planning this intrigue, I was ready to leave, but you came to me and I stayed here just to deliver you. And then she said, I accept you as my spiritual master, please instruct me. So he said, go immediately, you give away all your property that you accumulated through illicit activity, and come, stay here, worship Tulasi, offer your prayers, give water to Tulasi, and chant continuously. And he said, and I'm leaving right now. And he left. And Lakshahira went, she gave away all her property to Brahmanas and qualified devotees, and she came back. She shaved her head, she wore one clothes, and she survived on begging alms. Whatever she could collect, she would chew that, and if nothing was collected, she would fast. And she started chanting 3 lakh of names every day. So it is possible. We say only Haridas Thakur can do that, but if prostitute did, such a respectable gentleman as Hari can do that too. So now remember, the 3 lakh is not 192 rounds. It's only 173. So, and she chanted, and because she didn't eat regularly, and she ate very little, whatever she could collect, with gratitude to the Lord. It's easy to appreciate when something in small quantity given to you. But when you have abundance, then sometimes we take it for granted. So she ate that, and because she controlled her senses, very soon she got the love of Godhead. Symptoms of love of Godhead became manifested in her body, in her person. And people started coming and wanted to see her. And when they saw that the symptoms of love of Godhead, then they would bring alms and they would pay obeisances. And then many senior devotees, Vaishnavas, would come to associate with her. Now, what happened to Ramachandra Khan? He, by trying to make Haridas Thakur to fall down, he planted the seed of offense, which later became a gigantic tree, and he ate its fruits. Lord Nityananda, when he came back to Navadvip, traveling and preaching, Lord Nityananda was a great saint, the incarnation of the Lord, Lord Balaram. So when he traveled and preached, he came being omniscient. He came to that village. He came to the house of Ramachandra Khan. And he came to, and he sit on the Durga Mandapa. Every respectable gentleman in West Bengal, they would have little temple of Durga in their house, where once in a year, about September, October, they would install Durga and would do their worship. So Lord Nityananda sit there, and soon courtyard filled up with the followers of Lord Nityananda. And then Ramachandra Khan just sent his servant, and the servant told to Lord Nityananda that you can stay in milkman house. The Goshala is very spacious for you because you have so many followers. And Lord Nityananda got very offended, and he said, yes, Ramachandra Khan spoke rightly. This place does not fit for me. It fit for cow-killing meat eaters. and he left. And he was so upset that he didn't even stay in that village. He left whole village. And then, in a few days, the Minister of Finance found out that Ramachandra Kant was cheating on his taxes. He was collecting taxes and was not giving all the taxes to the government. And he got very angry. So, and that was Muslim government. And he came with soldiers to Ramachandra Khan, and he came into that Durga Mandapa, and he killed cow right there. And he cooked the meat and he ate. And they stayed there for 3 days, and they ate the cow meat, and they plundered the house. They took whatever valuables Ramachandra Khan had, and then they also plundered the village. They beat up people and took all the valuables because they were behind on taxes. So they just collect whatever they could. And they throw in prison the Ramachandra Khan, his wife, and the children, his sons. So that was the fruit of his offense. So sometimes we may see that, person may commit some offenses, but nothing happens. So when we commit offense, we plant the seed, and then that seed grows in a tree, and later that tree will give fruit. So then, when Haridas Thakur left, he went to Chandapura. And Chandapura later was known as Krishnapura. And there he stayed in the house of Balaramacharya. He took association of Yadunandana Acharya, and they were priests of the Majjumadara brothers. Majjumadara brothers were Govardhana and Hiranya. Govardhana was actually father of Raghunatha Das Goswami, and Hiranya was his uncle. These Majjumadara brothers were treasurers of the government, and they were very respectful to Haridas Thakur. They were very happy, and Balaramacharya was favored by Haridas Thakur, so Balaramacharya was very attached to Haridas Thakur, and he made him one cottage there in their village where Haridas Thakur stayed, and he did his chanting. And once they invite him for the meeting, they had a regular discourse on the scriptures, and Balaramacharya asked Haridas Thakur to come for their discourse. And Haridas Thakur came. When he came, the Majjumadara brothers get up and they offer obeisances to his lotus feet, and everybody was very welcoming to him. So, as we see, sometimes we can change place. See, that situation, even though he was so advanced, he could stay there in that village, Binapal, and keep chanting and say, I'm not affected by all this intrigue of the local government. But he left. So, just like some devotees, I talked to one time to Mother Kamagiri, and I asked, why did you leave Cleveland? And Mother Kamagiri said, it was time to go. I said, was some problem? She said, it was time to go. So it was time to go for Haridas Thakur. So he went. And here we see he was welcomed by local government who was treasurers of the government. And they pay obeisances to his lotus feet. And they welcome to his assembly of learned brahmanas. And everybody welcomed him there. So it was very, very auspicious situation for him. And they started glorifying him. They were saying that he chanting 3 lakh of names every day. And then they started glorifying the holy name. Somebody said that by chanting of holy name, all the reactions of one's sinful life is destroyed. Another said, by chanting the holy name, one can get liberation. And Haridas Thakur said, this is not the goal of the chanting. The goal of chanting is love of Godhead, not the liberation. Liberation comes just in the beginning of Namabhas, beginning of offenseless chanting. Liberation comes. And devotees not even interested in that. So, and then he actually was a learned person, even though he was chanting pretty much day and night. He started quoting Srimad Bhagavatam 11.240, where it says that when devotee actually advanced, he chants with great pleasure, and he sometimes chants very loudly, and he laughs and cries, and he sometimes appears like a madman, not caring for outsiders. And then he quoted Padyavali 16, that just like morning sun, when rises, all the darkness, the ocean of darkness is disappear. In the same way, when one chants just once without offense, all the reactions of sinful life is destroyed. So, and then he said, can you please comment on this? And all the learned men would say, please, you are the good authority on the holy name. Please, you comment. And Haridas Thakur said, so morning sun, when in the morning sun rises, even before we see sun, all darkness goes away, and all fear of the robes and ghosts go away. So he said, in the same way, all the sinful reactions and the liberation comes. All the sinful reactions goes away, and liberation comes when holy name just becomes the offenseless. When one start chanting offenselessly. Then he quote Srimad Bhagavatam 6.249, where Ajamil was delivered just by calling his son, who was named Narayan. And then, what to speak of those devotees who lovingly chant the name of Krishna? And then he mentioned 329.13, Srimad Bhagavatam, when Lord Kapila saying that devotees not interested even in 4 kinds of liberation. Samipya, Sarupya, Salokya, Sarshti. And there I saw one interesting thing, that actually I had that question. So how come the gopis very much interested in association with Krishna, right? Which is Samipya, personal association with the Lord. And they're the best devotees. So how come? And in that translation, I saw that Prabhupada add to the translation that that devotees not interested in those liberations, even if it offered by the Supreme Lord. And then Prabhupada add, in preference to serving me. In preference to serving me. So that was my answer. In preference to serving me. So whatever one's service, like gopis are not pujaris. So their service to Krishna, to entertain him in the kunjas, flower kunjas, swing Radha and Krishna, and playing music for him. So they are longing for Krishna to do their service. That's their service. And now they were derived of their service, and they wanted Krishna's personal association. Like now we have some pujaris like Chinakya Pandit. If you ask Chanakya Pandit, would you be interested in Samipya, to go to Golok Vrindavan to have personal association with Krishna? He will say, no. I'm... Because devotees completely satisfied with their service. They serving Shri Radha Nattabar, and they're not interested in any other position. So, but there was one person, Gopala Chakravarti. He was a Brahman, the chief tax collector. And he said, why you all learned Brahmanas listening this emotional devotee? Even after millions of lives, when one is in full knowledge, one may not be able to get liberation. And now he's saying by Namabhas, one can get liberation. And Haridas Thakur said, why you doubtful? And then he quoted Hari Bhakti Suddhodaya, 1436, where a devotee is saying that, seeing you, I derive ocean of bliss, and situated in that ocean, all other pleasures are insignificant. Even the pleasure derived from being in Brahmananda. And then this Gopal Chakravarti said, if one cannot get liberation, by Nambabhas, then I will cut off your nose. And the whole assembly get up and they just roared against this offense. And then the Majjumadara brothers chastised the Gopal Chakravarti, and Balaram Acharya told him, you foolish logician, what do you understand about devotional service? And they kick him out. They dismiss him from his position because he was chief tax collector for them. So they fire him. And actually Haridas Thakur said that, accepting his challenge, he said that if one cannot get liberation by Namabhasa, I will cut off my own nose. Because he had a strong faith in the holy name. And he quotes so many scriptures. He said, I talk from scriptures, why are you doubtful? This is what it says in the scriptures. But sometimes some people, they just envy to that position, that when somebody is very respectful, but actually have lower birth than them. So this is why he spoke like this. And in 3 days he got leprosy, and his raised nose fell off, and his beautiful fingers and toes got melted away. So Haridas Thakur was actually very unhappy about this situation, but everybody was very impressed power of Haridas Thakur. But Haridas Thakur was disappointed, and he actually left that place. And that time he came to Puglia, and in Puglia that happened that the Muslims was disturbed when they find out that he was actually Muslim before, and now he was accepting Hindu, and he chanting like this, and he's effulgent, and everybody attracted, including Muslims, and they thought that this is not good. Other Muslims may start getting converted into Hindus, so this is not good. And then that time the Qazi brought him to Nawab, and he was punished. Then he was beaten. The Qazi said that, Nawab said that, just preach from your scriptures. Give up this Hindu thing, and just preach from your scriptures. And Haridas Thakur said that, even if you cut my body into pieces, I will not stop chanting. And then Qazi said, punish him. He has to be beaten in 22 marketplaces. And they beat him, and he was unaffected. And that time they said, oh, we understand you're a great saintly person. We're beating you and you are not dying. So, but Nawab don't understand all this. He said, when he sees that you're still alive, he gonna have our heads. So can you do something? Because he will think that we are not beating you properly. And Haridas said, okay, if my life is giving you so much trouble, then I give up my life. And he fall unconscious. And no life symptoms was in his body. And actually very similar to Jesus Christ's story. And then they brought him to Nawab, and Nawab said that, bury him. And Qazi said, no, 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 don't bury him. If you bury him, then he will be elevated. Just throw him in a river. Let him be lost like other Hindus. And they throw him in the river, and then he floated there, and when at Fulia, he get up and he went chanting very loudly. And when they saw, they came and they apologized, they fall to his feet and they beg for forgiveness. They understand that he is a great saint. But he, of course, forgive them, but all their families was destroyed. Devotees always forgive everybody, but Krishna will not forgive the offense to devotee. And after that, he met with Advaita Acharya. When Advaita Acharya saw him, he roared very loudly, and because he finally saw the great devotee of the Lord. They were so happy, and Advaita Acharya delivered many discourses on Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam to Haridas Thakur, and they discussed so many wonderful topics. And then Advaita Acharya constructed him a little place like a cave on the bank of Ganga, and there he chanted. And Advaita Acharya was calling Lord Chaitanya, and Haridas Thakur joined him. He also was calling Lord Chaitanya. That all happened before Lord Chaitanya came, actually. And thus, Lord Chaitanya appeared because of call of these two devotees, Advaita Acharya and Haridas Thakur. And then, Haridas Thakur was tested by Maya. Maya, illusory potency of the Lord personified. Would you like to hear?
Yes.
It's a similar story to that prostitute. So when the Maya, one night, was full moon and the cave was illuminated. And the Tulasi was on very beautiful, clean altar. And anybody who saw this, they were amazed and their heart was satisfied. And that time, one beautiful lady appeared, and her body was effulgent, and tinkling of her ornaments spread around, and the flavor of her body. And she approached in the same manner to Haridas Thakur, that I want to be with you, I just came to see you, and please satisfy me. The great souls always compassionate to others, and satisfy the desires of others. And he said that, what he said? Yes, just sit on the doorstep and just listen to the chanting. As soon as my vow complete, I will satisfy all your desires. And then, 3 nights she would come. And at the end of 3rd night, she just told him frankly, Haridas Thakur, you are cheating me. He said, you're making false promises. And what the Haridas said? Haridas said, I'm free from lust, from illusion, and I am devotee, I just want to deliver you. What did he say? He said, did you say you're my enemy? He said, my friend, I took this vow of chanting. How can I give it up? So that's an interesting example how to deal with Maya. Actually, one time Prabhupada asked devotees, why everybody bow down to me? And devotees said, they didn't know what to say, because usually what devotees say, Prabhupada would say something different. So they was kind of... And Prabhupada said, because I'm free from lust. And then he added, actually, I'm not free from lust. I just have no time for this. Following in the footsteps of Haridas Thakur, he said, my dear friend, I took vow. How can I give it up? So, and Prabhupada mentioned to some devotees would say that I'm so busy, I have so many things to do, Prabhupada, what can I do? And so many services. And Prabhupada would say that this is how you have to be engaged in Krishna consciousness, so that Maya had no time to come in. So that's again following the footsteps of Haridas Thakur. And then when Lord Chaitanya made his appearance, so Haridas Thakur was 35 years older than Lord Chaitanya and 23 years older than Lord Nityananda, but he was about 17 years younger than Advaita Acharya. So when Lord Chaitanya started his chanting, he was about 50 years old. And then one day, Lord Chaitanya said, Shuna Shuna Nityananda Shuna Haridas, go to every door and tell everybody, chant holy name, worship Krishna, and cultivate Krishna consciousness. And then they went. Thakur Haridas with Lord Nityananda. Would you like to go on preaching with Lord Nityananda? Haribol. So, and when they went for preaching, then something interesting happened. See, Lord Nityananda is not a regular person. He is Avadut. So the preaching with Lord Nityananda is kind of special preaching. You're not going to get bored. So, and they came to Jagai Madhai, and when Lord Nityananda saw them, he started preaching them about holy name, and they chased them to kill them. And Thakur Haridas was running with Lord Nityananda, and he said, oh, Lord Chaitanya saved me from Muslim beating, but today surely I'm gonna face my end due to restless nature of my companion. And they were running. And Lord Chaitanya said, no, this restless nature is not mine. This is all due to your master, Lord Chaitanya. That's all his ecstasies make me like this. And they were running. And he said, even though he is Brahmana, he making orders like a king. And if we don't do, we finish. And if we do, then we're in this dilemma. And he said, yeah, you preach to these faceless people, and now we're going to get our due punishment for this. And they were running from Jagai and Madhai. And then he came to Advaita Acharya and he complained to him. He said, this preaching with Lord Nityananda is not easy. You see, today we got in so big trouble. These two drunkards laying down and stupid, and he goes to them and preaches them about the glories of holy name. And then we run, and I'm old man, I cannot run so fast. Then he said, he is so restless, and sometimes I go to one direction, then he goes to another direction. When he sees crocodile, he jump in and he trying to catch that crocodile, and then he flows through downstream in the Ganga like a dead man. Then he sees some young boy on the shore. He get up and he shout after him angrily. And then parents come with sticks, and then I have to explain them what's happening. And then he steals butter and milk from the milkman, and then he runs away, and I'm old man. I get cut. And then they want to beat me up. And then he sees a young girl, and then he says, would you marry me? And then he sees bull, he jump on the bush and on the bull, and he shout, Mahesh, I'm Mahesh. And then he sees cow, he milk the cow and drink the milk. So would you still like to go on preaching with Lord Nityananda? So, but that's and Advaita Acharya said that, see, he he is intoxicated with love of God. So and now he sees other people who is intoxicated and he wants to join them. That's natural. But you are a renounced person. You have nothing to do in this company. And then he angrily took cloth from his body and he threw it down. And he said, Advaita Acharya said that, I want to see the potency of Lord Chaitanya. I want to see. Very soon you see those two drunkards dancing in the company of devotees, chanting Hare Krishna. And then Thakur Haridas was pacified. He said, okay. And he laughed on angry mood of Advaita Acharya and he was pacified. He thought, okay, they will be delivered. So, and today is disappearance of Haridas Thakur. He told Lord Chaitanya that I don't want to see final chapter of your pastimes. I want to depart in your presence. Please bestow this mercy on me. And Lord Chaitanya said that Krishna is very merciful. He definitely will fulfill your desire. But why it doesn't fit for you to leave me like this? Whatever happiness is mine is due to your presence. And Thakur Haridas said, oh my Lord, please don't create this illusion. There is millions of devotees, all your associates. They fit to sit on my head and they are very helpful in your pastimes. Please bestow this mercy on me. And then Lord Chaitanya had to go for engagement. He had some engagement afternoon, and then he was to come back next day. Then after visiting Jagannath Puri temple, he went quickly to see Haridas Thakur. He came to him and he said, so Haridas, what's the news? And Haridas said, oh Lord, whatever mercy you can bestow on me. And Lord Chaitanya immediately started kirtan, and in that kirtan was Vateshwara Pandit. He was dancing, and Sarup Damodar Goswami, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Ramananda Roy, and they had the great kirtan, and Lord Chaitanya would glorify Thakur Haridas in front of everybody, and everybody was in great ecstasy and was so astonished to hear glory of Haridas Thakur. And then Thakur Haridas asked Lord Chaitanya to sit in front of him. He held his lotus feet to his heart. He fixed his eyes on his lotus face, and he chanted Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, and tears flowed from his eyes, and like this he left his body. Thakur Haridas ki Jai. And then was great festival, as Premi Vilas explained. So now we have Aratik. We will stand up for Aratik. Hare Krishna. Hare
Krishna Prabhu ki